Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Bartlett Village Board meeting for September 3rd, 2013. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Ahrens, absent. Camerer. Here. Carbonaro, absent. Martin.
Here.
Ranke.
Here.
Shipman.
Here.
President Wallace.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and will be acted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed in the general order of business and considered at an appropriate point in the agenda. At this point, does anybody have any questions on the agenda?
Mr. President, can we remove the bills from the consent agenda, please?
Okay.
I would like to add, even though I'm not Public Works, I'm filling in for TL, F1 and F2.
Okay. Is there any discussion on F1, F2? Any question marks with that? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, the only thing that I think you might want to leave on the agenda just for general discussion and good of the order is the Amherst drainage, which is part of the package of drainage improvements that we've been working on for the last 5 years. And this is, I think, an interesting partnership, financially good for us with DuPage County, and I always like to say those things out loud.
Okay.
I think it might be good, too, for some of us to hear the history of that, since really it started quite a few years ago.
All right. So
I revise. I move that we add F1 to the agenda.
Okay.
If that's a motion, the motion should also include the removal of item 6, the bills list.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to remove item 6 from the agenda, the consent agenda, and add item F1 to the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Ranke, seconded by Trustee Shipman. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Camerer.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ranke.
Yes.
Shipman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the minutes. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved. Second.
It's moved by Trustee Camerer, seconded by Trustee Martin. Is there any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Camerer.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ranke.
Yes.
Shipman.
Abstain.
Motion still carries.
Motion still carries. Next item on the agenda is the bills list.
Mr. President, I move to approve the bills with the exception of one bill payable to the College of DuPage.
It's been moved by Trustee Ranke,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Martin. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Back at 3.
Trustee Camerer.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ranke.
Yes.
Shipman.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you should vote on it. Yes, your vote as well.
Yeah, I need to vote on that just because.
And President Wallace.
Yes. Motion carries. There is no treasurer's report, and there is no president's report this evening.
Don't we have to
We
vote on...
still need to have a, now, since the COD bill was removed from consent.
And for the record, at this time, I'll now recuse myself from participating in consideration or debate.
Do I need to itemize it? Can I just use COD?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to vote on this because of the number.
Yeah.
The records show that Trustee Ranke recused himself due to the College of DuPage being on the bills list. At this point, I'd entertain a motion to approve the payment of the College of DuPage bill.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by Trustee Martin, seconded by Trustee Shipman. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Camerer.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Shipman.
Yes.
President Wallace.
Yes. Motion carries.
You changed your tie.
All right. Next item on the agenda is 7 and 8 are the Treasurer's report and the President's report. There are none this meeting. Next, we will move to question and answer time at this point.
Staff was working on something, so Trustee Ranke doesn't have to do this every meeting. Is that correct? Or
We
do we try to
did.
get billed every 6 months or something?
We had a commitment out of College of DuPage to bill, was it 6 months or quarterly, Chief? Quarterly.
Okay.
We found out that they wouldn't cooperate on is the actual tuition for the academy, because that's a separate, that goes straight to the college. So what they're doing is holding our in-service trainings for us on a quarterly basis. However, any actual officer in the academy, they're going to bill that out whenever it comes to.
I don't particularly care. It just seems like a lot of
Yes.
formalization to go through. If we can find a simpler way to do it, that's all. So good. Okay. Thank you.
It'll make it easier on me, too. Any other questions and answers at this time? Next item on the agenda is the Town Hall meeting. This is the point of the meeting where we offer anyone from the audience to step up and address the board. If you do so, please state your name and your address, and try to keep your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening. Jim McCarthy, 1175 Independence Drive. I'm here this evening to talk about the heroin awareness program that happened on August 25th at Resurrection Church, sponsored by the youth ministry there. That evening, as I'm sure many of you saw in the Examiner, Cindy did an excellent job of covering it. There were 400 people there, parents as well as youth. I'm not going to stand up here and quote all the statistics and the importance of this meeting, but rather simply to let you know that due to the demand, there's going to be another meeting on September 22nd. And same place, same time, Resurrection Church at 7 p.m. I will be extending an invitation to all of the board members. We're going to do the same thing with the Park District and the Library District as a way of just increasing our general knowledge on this topic as it's become such a rampant thing. And then there is one other thing I would like to let both the board and staff know, that Chief Williams did an outstanding job that evening. His facts, figures, the information that he presented to everyone. We heard numerous comments afterwards about the quality of the presentation, and Chief just did a fantastic job. So thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
We might also point out that we'll be hosting one down at the high school. Do we have the date for that, Chief?
Said, however, my administration is meeting with the high school administration and Eastview's administration on the morning of 9/11 to come up with those dates and to actually lay out the programming for that. And that'll be for both the student body and in the evenings for the parents to come back for the same awareness program.
Real quick, Saturday's street dance. I couldn't stay late because I had to go see my mom in the ER in Chicago, but I came early. I want to praise the township. Great job. I saw the car show and saw all our fine officers. Great job. So kudos to the township, and I'm sure all of you guys came later. They put on a nice thing. It was a nice day even with the rain. Separate, unrelated, switching gears. Paul, my maple tree droops, and I was by my mom today visiting her again in the city. Her maple tree droops, and neither of you are your problem. Do you know what the Asian longhorn beetle is, and is that a problem that's happening to maple trees?
I'm not aware that the Asian longhorn is attacking the maples. I'm not aware of that.
I Googled it at her house, and apparently it's something's happened in Addison and parts of Chicago and New York, because I saw a tree in front of my house does it, and hers is doing it. I was like, So and I thought, you're an expert, I'd ask you.
It could be just the simple drought conditions from last year, and then again this year on the drought conditions, and just being lack of water.
Cool. Again, nice street dance. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Anybody else like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, we will move on to the next item on the agenda, our standing committee reports. And the first standing committee is Planning and Zoning, chaired by Trustee Camerer.
Thank you, President Wallace. There's one item on the Planning and Zoning Committee this evening, and that is amendment to the donation ordinance. This was reviewed at the August 20th, 2013 Committee of the Whole meeting. The donation ordinance was last amended in 2007. It provides for donations to be paid by developers of residential developments to various taxing districts based on the impact that are specifically and uniquely attributable to a given development. The proposed amendment primarily applies to the cash in lieu of park land and cash in lieu of school land component of the donation ordinance, which are computed based on the fair market value of land. McCain Appraisal, LLC, prepared an updated real estate market study in which they opined that the current land value in Bartlett is $160,000 per acre, to which $50,000 is added to extend utilities across the property for a total of $210,000 per acre. With that and other new information, the donation ordinance was amended, including the calculation of new developer donation cash equivalents on Table 3 to the ordinance for various housing types and sizes. With that, I move to pass Ordinance 2013-69, an ordinance amending the Bartlett subdivision ordinance to provide for land and cash donations by developers as presented.
Second.
It's moved by Trustee Camerer, seconded by Trustee Shipman. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Camerer,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ranky,
Yes.
Shipman,
Yes.
Yes.
President Wallace.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Camerer. Next item on the agenda is the Building Committee, chaired by Trustee Martin.
There is no report at this time for the Building Committee. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Martin. Next item on the agenda is Finance and Golf Committee, chaired by Trustee Ranky.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report at this time.
Thank you, Trustee Ranky. Next item on the agenda is License and Ordinance Committee, chaired by Trustee Carbonaro, who's absent. Both his items were listed on the consent agenda. Next item on the agenda is Police and Health Committee, chaired by Trustee Shipman.
There is nothing on the agenda this evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Trustee Shipman. Next item on the agenda is the Public Works Committee, typically chaired by Trustee Ahrens. I've requested that Trustee Martin chair those topics this evening.
We have the Amherst Drive Drainage Improvement Project, of which we sent out bids. We received 9 of them. We have chosen a winner, and they have good credentials. And Valerie, would you like to say anything?
This project begins right on Stearns Road where the dip is, and as most of you know, during the flooding, that low area fills up very, very quickly, and it is one of the last to recede. We've also had flooding issues along Amherst in some of the backyards that meet up against the Commonwealth Edison easement. So we went to DuPage County and said, since this is a problem on part of your land and part of Commonwealth Edison's land, part of our residents, we'd like to work together on that, and they agreed to pay 50%. We went to Commonwealth Edison to get easements, which was a pretty easy process. Sometimes that can be very lengthy, but they were very cooperative as a partner in this project, and we were able to move along and get it bid. This will take the water all the way down from the road behind all of those houses and sort of create a pond area, I think, down at the end of it, Paul, if that's... So we think this is another one of those flooding things. While it may not be as critical as some of the ones we have tried to be diligent in moving through all of them and seeing if we couldn't bring other partners to bear to help us pay for these, and I think this was another success.
With that, I move to approve a resolution approving the agreement between the Village of Bartlett and American Underground of Illinois, LLC, for storm sewer construction work. Resolution 2013-70.
70.
Second.
It's moved by Trustee Martin, seconded by Trustee Camerer. Is there any discussion on this?
Just one question. Are we at all alarmed that the lowest bid is about $20,000 cheaper than even our own estimate? I mean, it just seems like it's so much cheaper.
We're really not alarmed with that. With the prices that we're seeing out there with the material, everybody's hungry for work out there, and the prices were very, very good. And they do meet our expectations. We've not worked with them. Burke has had experience with them. Come highly recommended. But I think the prices are just part of the economy.
Okay. Thank you.
I would just like to add, too, I know we discussed this a couple of years ago. This has been an ongoing project for some time, as I recall, or an ongoing effort, not a full-blown project. And I remember one of the early discussions was the concern that Commonwealth Edison would not play ball. So I want to congratulate staff for whatever you did to encourage them to play ball and to play nicely with us all. Because I think that was a big part of moving this into a project stage and making it happen, was we had to get Commonwealth Edison's head to go like this, which is not always an easy thing to do. So kudos to staff again for making that happen. I don't know if any of the residents are here. We had a couple of them before. I know they were very interested in seeing this project happen. So although you said this was not big on the grand scale, I'm sure it's earth-moving to those residents right along Amherst Drive there. So.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Camerer?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ranky?
Yes.
Shipman?
Yes.
President Wallace?
Yes. Motion carries.
I have nothing further for Public Works. Thank you, President.
Thank you for doing that, Trustee Martin. Next item on the agenda, we have new business. Is there any new business for the good of the order?
Not that I have new business, but I would like to echo what Fire Protection Trustee Jim McCarthy had to say about our chief. I did attend that heroin awareness meeting and was very impressed, frightened in some ways about what's going on because of this heroin problem that we have in this corridor. But I was very impressed by Chief Williams' ability to convey the information to the audience. It was a large turnout, and I certainly want to thank him publicly for that as well, on behalf of myself, and I'm certain the board as well. And I certainly hope we can do more as a village for further education on this heroin problem. And in any way we can be looking at ways to help, I think that would be a thing that would benefit the village tremendously and the people of our community. So once again, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just quickly again, kudos to staff and everybody, Paula and the chief and everybody who worked so hard on the street dance, because it was a very nice event. The weather came in about 20 minutes, but really there was a great crowd. Chief, I believe the report was no issues, and everybody seemed to have a really nice time. We had some great entertainment this year, and so thank you for all of your help, and thank you to the residents for coming out and making it happen too. So.
I was just going to add, where are we publicizing these two events?
We will
Besides the website?
publicize them in the Bartlett, the television, the website. We'll probably do email blasts as well as tweets.
Is it possible to get the school plugged in so they can shoot out a flyer?
Oh, I would assume that's their responsibility to let their students and their
Yes.
parents know, so they'll
That
be
will
there.
be the plan, is that it goes home to all the parents, that they
Yeah.
do their email blast. We'll also do press releases for the local Examiner and Herald.
Good.
Because we want this to be for the community as well. There's enough room down there, so we're inviting everybody. And if need, we'll do another one.
Good.
Chief,
Thank you.
Are other communities doing what we're doing, trying to fight this?
They are. not quite as well attended. I was very proud of this community and how they rally, but that, I shouldn't have been surprised. That's what this community does. They rally around each other and they pull together and they fix problems that they see in the community. So I was really taken aback and very proud. I don't have any reason to assume that it won't continue.
Are we going to do anything, I know it's not our town, but maybe since half our kids go to the Storm over there, South Elgin, maybe we can...
Good question. I've been communicating with them as well. They have an SRO over there who's putting programming together for them as well. So
Okay.
If they want our program, of course we would go over there and present it as well.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else with new business information? Hearing none. Next item on the agenda is question and answer. Nothing? With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Camerer, seconded by Trustee Martin. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Camerer?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Ranky?
Yes.
Shipman?
Yes.
Okay. This meeting is adjourned.